Hello everyone, Dane here and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my new 14-inch M1 Max MacBook Pro with a 32-core GPU, 32 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage. We're going to be doing initial impressions of the machine, as well as some of the accessories that I picked up for it so far that you may also find interesting and you may not have seen them before. So let's jump into it. Alright, so I've been using this new MacBook Pro for the last few days, and some of my initial impressions are really just the build quality of this machine. I mean, this new MacBook Pro just feels solid. It feels like a premium machine. The attention to detail is obvious everywhere you look. And I must say the keyboard is a pleasure to type on, and I think it looks great in all black. And of course, the ports are back. MagSafe charging is like getting a beloved friend back in your life. Having a full HDMI port is great, and having multiple Thunderbolt ports is also very nice.
No dongle. No dongle.
The thing that really stands out to me is the display. It is super crisp. It gets really bright, especially in HDR. It has inky blacks, amazing colors, and it just looks great. And, no matter what you throw at it, the screen just looks fantastic. And one thing I've got to say is the speakers on this machine are amazing. I mean, they are by far the best speakers I've ever heard in a laptop. They have substantially more bass than any of the other MacBooks that I've ever owned before, and really honestly better than any other laptop speakers I've ever heard. So the display, the speakers, the build quality, the ports, everything, it just feels like they did everything right. The machine is fantastic. And so far, I'm loving it. The apps run great. It's snappy. Everything just feels like it works the way it should. And as far as new laptops go, it's one that I've been excited for a very long time. And yet, it did not disappoint in any way. It's just been really, really good. So with that said, let's take a look at some of the accessories that I've picked up for it and see what you think. The power bricks that come with Apple's laptops are pretty great. They're smaller than the power bricks for most laptops, and one thing I will say though is they can be a little awkward sometimes. I know I've been in a client's conference room or something for a long training, where I've had to plug into a wall, and the power brick just won't stay in the wall. Or maybe it's just too far away to reach. Not everyone knows this, but Apple sells an extension cord that connects to your existing power brick. It works with virtually any power brick they've made for the iPad or any of their laptops, and the prongs for the plug slide right off, and the extension cord can be attached, essentially doubling the length of the power cable. It also has a 3-prong plug, so it stays plugged in much better in these loose plugs like this one. And the added length makes it so that it will reach pretty much anywhere it needs to. If 12 feet isn't close enough for you, I think you've got bigger problems. I know this is just an extension cord, but it is a very useful accessory that not everybody knows exists, and that I've found pretty useful multiple times. So with the return of the SD card slot, I found the next accessory to be particularly helpful. I don't use regular SD cards a ton, and I saved a lot of money by going with the base amount of storage on my new MacBook Pro. And so while I realize this may not be a great option for everyone, I did find an accessory that has come in handy for me. A company called Basekey or Basekey, not really sure how you say that, but they make a micro SD card adapter that's meant to sit flush in the SD card slot. And they make it in several different sizes. They make it for different products. But I saw from a few different sources that the 901A model, made for the Lenovo Yoga laptop, is actually the perfect size for the SD card slot of the new MacBook Pros. So if you already have a micro SD card sitting around, or if you pick one up, this can be a great way to add storage to your laptop. I was able to expand my storage by 400 gigs, and I put my library of movies on it so that I could watch any of them while I was on the go, which makes enjoying my laptop in areas where I may not have Wi-Fi pretty great. All at a quarter of the price of moving from 512 gigabytes to the 1 terabyte of storage with Apple. One thing I will say though, the storage is much slower than Apple's built-in SSD. So, it's not going to work as quick and as well in that regard. But, in a pinch, it works out pretty well. And I really like it. The next accessory I think every laptop needs is a small case like this one. This particular one is made by Case Logic, though there are several other brands out there that work just as well. I chose this one because it was on sale for only $10 and it seemed pretty decent. It has some padding to help prevent dings and scratches, and it also has a small pocket just big enough to fit the charging brick and maybe the MagSafe cable. It's nice to have if you're just getting it to and from the office or from your desk to a conference room, and you don't really need a large briefcase or backpack, but you still want to protect your very expensive investment. But I think this one's pretty solid. The next thing I want to show you is the Logitech MX Master 3 for Mac wireless mouse. If you're going to use your laptop as a true desktop replacement, hooked up to external monitors, then you're going to want a nice mouse. This is the nicest mouse I've personally ever used. It's not cheap, but I feel like it's worth it. The mouse is very ergonomic, and it feels great in my hand. The buttons are nice, and the scroll wheel is super smooth. It also has a side scroll wheel that's great for browsing the web or when editing video. The side buttons are great for going forward or back, and it's very accurate and can be used on virtually any surface. You can also set it up to work with multiple Bluetooth profiles, so it can connect to multiple different devices, like 2 different Macs and an iPad. But probably the best part about this mouse is the accompanying software that comes with it. You can customize each button and have it do pretty much whatever you want, including bringing up mission control or app expose, or any of these other great options that it has here. You can even assign a keyboard shortcut to any of the buttons as well. I like to use my middle button here, to bring up the search, which can be a really convenient feature. And the other great thing about it is that you can change up what various buttons do based on which application you're using. So the side buttons can be forward and back in Safari, and maybe copy and paste in Word. It supports most common apps and works pretty great. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a pro-level mouse to go with your MacBook Pro. Thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button below. If you want to catch more of my videos and see similar content like this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.